I guess I'll never know what I missed on that first day of health class.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex standing up. Just don't do it. Promise? Okay, everybody take some rubbers.
Oh, Mean Girls, what a classic. Scenes like these are common in films that take place in high school settings. They often depict high school health classes as ridiculously awful and generally unhelpful. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure everyone has at least heard of the classic banana and condom trope. And, well, we laugh, because it's funny. But you know what's not funny? STDs and unplanned pregnancy.
As school is a place where children are sent to learn, it seems reasonable that it would be the place where they learn about their developing bodies and sexual health. The issue, however, arises in that the government does not have set guidelines on what should be taught in sex education classes, therefore leaving it up to each individual state and then each school within the state to decide what is appropriate to teach in the classroom. The two main types of sexual education are comprehensive sex education and abstinence-based sex education. There's a bit of a spectrum between them, but these two are the major bases for the types of sex education. Comprehensive sex education is taught with the belief that children and teenagers should be aware of all aspects of sexual health, which includes body development, relationships, birth control methods, and so on. This type of sex ed is used in countries like the Netherlands, where age-appropriate discussions about body development, sexuality, sexual health, and relationships may begin as early as the age of 4. Abstinence-based teaching styles, however, generally focus on abstinence as being the only truly effective form of birth control, and may also exclude certain aspects of sexual health or other topics from their teaching programs, as some believe it is inappropriate. It is my personal belief that comprehensive sex education should be enforced across the country, as the education provided is important to everyone, and just because birth control methods and safe sex are taught, it does not encourage or imply that those being taught should or will have sex. Now, getting into our reason number 1. Much of the general thought about sex education is that it only teaches about puberty and how not to get an STI or pregnant. This is not, or at least should not, be the case. As previously stated, comprehensive sex education covers everything from relationships to sexuality, as well as the more well-known topics like sex itself and body development. According to the CDC, 47% of teenagers claim that they have had sex. This means that sex education, specifically about contraceptives, would be beneficial to almost half of all teenagers. But the fact of the matter is that sex education is not just about the heterosexual norm of what sex looks like, and is not just beneficial to these 47% of teens. Teaching about healthy relationships and expression within relationships is useful to more than just heterosexuals, such as those who identify as LGBTQ+. Because while not everyone is straight, everyone does develop relationships with other people, and being able to recognize toxic relationships between both romantic partners and friends is resoundingly important. Furthermore, there is evidence that sex education needs to be changed or improved in some way, because the percentage of teens who say they used a condom the last time they engaged in sexual intercourse has dropped from 63% in 2003 to 59% in 2016. While this drop is concerning in itself, I personally am more concerned by the fact that less than 2/3 of teens are using condoms at all when engaging in sexual intercourse. Moving on to the second part of my reasoning why we need widespread, comprehensive sex education. Let's talk about the reasons why people oppose more inclusive sex ed. One of the major concerns of the opposition is the belief that by exposing teens and children to information about sex and contraceptives, they will be encouraged or influenced to engage in related acts. According to Stephanie Zaza, director of the CDC's Adolescent Sexual Health Division, this is the exact opposite of the truth. Research conducted at the University of Washington confirms this. While comparing abstinence-only and comprehensive education programs, comprehensive education was associated with 50% lower risk of teen pregnancy. Additionally, comprehensive sex education programs were associated with reduced reports of vaginal intercourse. Abstinence-based programs, however, showed no real evidence of reducing teen pregnancy or vaginal intercourse, making it apparent which of the two is more effective.